Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tejano Keyboard. I am Rolando Revilla Jr. And Fortunately, we've been trying to get a hold of Mr. Reveles. He has We haven't been able to get a hold of him, so hopefully there was like just a simple misunderstanding or something. I'm going to be broadcasting here live for a little bit in hopes that he calls back. Uh, I can explain to you about the shirt today. This shirt, it says CMU. I don't know if you can see underneath the C. That's for Central Michigan University. That's my alma mater. Fire up chips, the Chippewas of Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. That's where I went to school. Other than that, let's see. Let's see if anybody's on right now. Maybe we'll just have like a little house party here. We can see if anybody's chatting yet. Let's see. Jam quiero amarte while you're waiting. Okay. Let's see. Uh, Something like that, right? Something like that. Um, so let's see here. I want to send some shout outs going out to John Ortiz, who says hello. What's up to myself and Joe, who's not in the house right now. And hopefully he'll answer here soon. We'll give him a few tries here in a little bit. John Ortiz, be on the lookout. John Ortiz will be doing an interview with us in August, so be sure to check that out. Also, going out to Michael. Says, what's up, compadre? What's going on? He's laughing at my attempt, I think, to play Quiero Marte. Uh, Nick Espinosa is in the house. What's up, Nick? Let's see here. I can't read the bottom of that. Let's get that situated here. Okay. Have I upgraded to Personas 5? No, I have not. I've had some unexpected finances around the house that come first before the music, and although it is those are my tools to make money because I'm a working musician, doing stuff like this and a bunch of other different ways to try and provide. But four is working fine right now. I do really, really badly want to move up to five, but for now, four is cutting it. Uh, you know, um, it's not like I can't get work done unless I have five. So, but yeah, hopefully soon. Hopefully before the end of the year, I can five. Uh, 15 for the sphere. You're loving it. That's an interesting concept there. So for those of you who are wondering what Nano Fuentes and I are talking about, so the recording software that I use is Studio One by Presonus, and they just came out with a new release, number five. I'm not plugging them in any way or whatever. I'm just kind of like, there's plenty of great DAWs out there. I happen to think that Studio One's among the best. I've used Pro Tools and Cubase and Sonar, Ableton. I've used all of them, and just really like the workflow of Studio One. Uh, but that being said, I forgot where I was going with this. What was it? What were we? Oh yeah. Oh, so they have decided to go the side of Pro Tools, much in the way of subscription to the service as opposed to buying a see here. So you can actually purchase it, so you can own it, or you can do a subscription thing. And the subscription thing is $15 a month, but you get everything that Presonus has to offer, including all their extra plugins and their notation software. That's kind of a cool idea, especially for those who don't necessarily need to use it all the time. But Personas also has sales every so often where you can buy the upgrade from the previous software for $100, right? So the only thing that I'm kind of battling with right now is whether I should pay $15 a month for a year, which would be unless you pay for it all at once and there's like a little discount. But even at $10 over 12 months, that's $120 when you could just wait and get it for $100 and then you'll own it forever. The exception, like I said, is that you don't have all the plugins and you don't have all the extra software like the notation software. Although Studio One 5 does have integrated like a light version of their notation software. So there's that. I use Muse Score, and that seems to be fine. It's a free, it's like a open source sort of notation software, and that's what I've used in times past. Like if you've seen the old videos where I had like notation and stuff, and even with guys within my band, I use that software to write out charts. Because sometimes when you're playing like some of these rancheras that are like really like heavy on like the chord progressions, it's always best to have some kind of a reference, a chord chart of some kind to be able to to have something to follow instead of guessing or whatever. Uh, Michael says he just got Studio One 4. Don't know what I'm doing with it, but I got it. Well, that's cool. I mean, there's a lot of Facebook groups that are dedicated to um, supporting people who are using Studio One. I'm in several of those groups too. Not I like to see what people are doing, and it's a good resource for learning. It's a good resource too for asking questions, and also helping each other out. Somebody might have the answer to something, or whatever. We all help each other out. So if you're using Studio One, I encourage you to check out those groups. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna put this on pause for a second. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to try Joe one more time, and if he doesn't pick up, then I'll stick around for I don't know, 50 minutes, half hour, whatever. If you guys have any questions, this would be a good time to, if you guys want to talk about anything like music related, any tips or even questions about chords. I'm always willing to help. So free lesson for everybody who's watching. So hang tight. I should be back here shortly. At least I hope so. And Well, no answer. So here, let's see. Sorry for the technical. Whatever. It's okay. We are back. All right, let's see. Chris Strunk says, "What's up, fellas?" Well, it's just fella right now. Fellas, everybody who's in the chat, shout out to them as well. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to just shoot them my way, and I'll try my best to answer them or give you my opinion on whatever. Okay, uh, the sounds in Studio One are amazing. I'm loving the Rhodes in it. Yeah, there's a pretty good Rhodes sound that I use pretty often in Studio One. It's called like Funky Rhodes or something like that. Which is funny because it's not really that funky. It's just like a regular straight Rhodes. There's no like effects or anything to it, but it's very expressive and has a nice touch to it, a nice velocity. When you play softly, it has that real warm sort of like bassy sort of tone, and then when you hit it, it has that nice little bright bell sort of sound that's you know characteristic of the Rhodes. Um, I use live. I use my. Let's see here. All right, that should be a little bit better. This is the Rhodes sound that I use. It's called "Riders on the Storm." I think that's in reference to one of the songs that it's based off of. But hey, that's not a bad idea. Hey, Chris, you want to do an interview? Because if you do, just text me or whatever. We'll put you on and we'll just talk, man. Just putting it out there. At any rate, uh, do a quick chord voicing example. What? I can't see the bottom part of that. Uh, uh, a quick chord voicing examples, spreading out voicing. Okay, so like my favorite one that I like to do is so I'll do it in C because it's the easiest way to yeah. So the way that I always do it, I always start with the root on top, right? So I'll do it in C first, and then we'll move it to a different key so you can kind of see. So like I call it fourth voicings, right? A lot of jazz guys use this sort of thing. Let me switch it back up to something that's 1 second. All right, can you guys hear me better right there? Okay, I'll use this sort of sound. Okay, so we'll start with C. The fourth of C is G. The fourth of G is D. The fourth of D is A. The fourth of A is E. And then you could even go further down and be okay. Down there sounds kind of muddy, so we can raise it up an octave. Okay. Now the reason that this voicing works, and so first before we talk about this voicing, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes. Okay. If you stack all these notes on top of each other, you have C, D, E. You don't have F, but you have G, A, B. So you have basically all the notes in a C scale minus the F. okay? But it doesn't sound like that. I mean, those are really all the notes that we're hitting. But when you spread it out, you get that sort of sound, okay? So you have the root, the fifth, the ninth, the 13th, the third, and the major seventh. Sometimes if I don't feel like playing it all the way out like that, I always like the seventh in my chords. So what I do instead is move the top note down a half step. So that's my seventh. And right there, if you see, none of those notes are C, but it fits good. That's a C 6 9 whatever 6 9 major seventh or major seventh 6 9. So let's see, inverted C pretty much. Kind of not. I mean, at the top, yes, because you have, it's like if you move the C to the top, or yeah, but it's really not an inverted chord. It's really just fourths spread apart. Uh, so that I like that. And the nice thing that it gets into like a theoretical thing where E, C in this position, the 6 9, is related to E minor because you have E, you have the fourth, which is the 11th, so it's a minor 11th, the dominant 7th, the minor 3rd, and let's see, the 5th. So that's actually, you could, if you were to break this down and actually call out the letters, this could be an E minor 11th, E minor 11th. So this can also be a C. So I'll play the bass note, okay? But you can hear that if I play E as the bass note, that also works too. So sometimes I'll use this voicing as my 1 or my minor 3. So let's take for example a song that would have a 1 and a 3 right next to each other, okay? Uh, let's take Stampede's Dame, I think it's called Dame tu calor or something like that, but the La noche que te vi, right? So you have the C. La noche que te vi, me enamoré yo de ti. So you see, I didn't even switch the voicings. Maybe sometimes I'll just approach it again chromatically just to make it seem like I changed, but I'm literally just hitting this twice. So the bass player can do La noche que te vi, me enamoré yo de ti. Okay, so similarly, the because they're related, F major and D minor are relative major and minor to each other respectively. So you can hit that right there and voice it as an F. I would probably leave out the D and just voice that like this. Bailamos tú y yo. And then you can go to the D minor. Y tu carita se grabó en mi mente. Let's see. So you know what I mean? That whole song can just be done with like just a few voicings, right? But it sounds super hip, you know what I mean? Just with that voicing instead of La noche que te vi, me enamoré yo de ti, bailamos tú y yo. I mean, that sounds good too. Those voicings. Oops. But if you want to So yeah, there's some open voicing stuff. Okay, so let's see. Uh, okay, so yeah, Chris, I'll call you. We'll do a little bit of some talking, and yeah, we'll do that. Mm, let's see. That's great. Okay, let's see if we can get Chris on here. No? See? Maybe? Okay.
What's up, dude?
Hey, Chris. Hold on one second. Let me get this all situated here.
All
So
right.
those of you who remember, Chris was my first guest, and he's always been down to help me out. So, I'm glad to have him back on the show. And let's see here. Let's. Sorry that this is all kind of makeshift and kind of last minute, y'all. But hey, the show goes on. I don't know why this is doing this. We are going to fix. Okay, there we are. Chris. Hey,
Yo,
is it laundry day?
it sure is, man.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, so what shirt are you wearing today? Because I'm wearing my cowboy shirt, dude.
Well, it's funny because this is a team too, but I mean, it's more a school. This is the college I graduated from, Central Michigan University. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but
but they ain't no cowboys, right?
I couldn't tell you. And let me explain to you why.
Um,
So, for those of you who may or may not know me that well, I don't get into sports.
Hijo de su
I
baton.
don't, man. It's
You know,
go ahead.
it's just like, oh, check out right there on my wall. Yeah, little cowboy right there, brother. And then I have my drink right here, huh? Little cowboy.
Yeah. All right, right on.
You know, you know what you would be labeled as right now? Like, if you were in Texas and you didn't support the Cowboys. You know how you have musicos que people say are just like me. People say, Chris is Kaido, right? Right now it's a Kaido moment for you.
Yeah. I've been called worse.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm Kaido, man, but
It's all
it's
good.
okay.
Hey, Rudy Valenzuela says you both did great in Milwaukee a few years back. Thank you very much, Rudy.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you, Rudy.
yeah. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think Rudy was there for the NITCS thing too, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. He sure was.
Yeah.
He sure was.
Michael Ibarra says puro Detroit Lions.
Hijo de su. No, hombre, no. They're okay. They're okay. They're okay.
They're okay.
I,
All
I, I
right,
can't
John.
say anything. I can't say that. I can't say anything about the Lions, man.
Yeah. Uh,
I like them at one point.
you know what? I guess all the teams are doing equally well or bad right now, right?
Yeah, they sure are, man.
I don't know anything about
No, but
sports, but I do know that we're in a pandemic and nobody's playing. So there's that.
yeah,
John Ortiz
yeah.
says DLC4L, which I'm assuming is Dallas Cowboys for life. Uh,
For life, brother.
yeah, I mean, listen, uh, maybe I'm the type of person that likes to watch sports in real time. Maybe like I don't know. I could never get into watching it on TV. But
Uh-huh.
I like when I was in high school, I used to like going to hockey games, like minor league hockey games with my friends from high school. We would just go and watch, watch them get
Uh-huh.
into fights and stuff. And we never really cared who won or nothing. We just went because it was something to do. They had these big old
Right.
like fanfare horns, those big plastic,
Uh-huh.
that and I bought one and just because it was loud and obnoxious and
You know, you know what would make it really interesting for you?
uh,
Like, say, like if Yanni was playing like for the Lions, then you'd be like, hell yeah, let's go watch them, right?
no
If he
man,
was quarterbacking the Lions, you'd probably be like, let's go, let's go. You'd be like an instant fan right there.
no, okay. You know what? I don't even want to get into the whole reason why I don't get into sports. I really shouldn't. At least not here. This is not the platform for it because
Hey, but you know
sometimes.
what?
Go
But
ahead.
it's cool because like, at least we get to talk about something that's a little bit different, off the subject from the regular norm on your show, right?
Yeah, sure, man. We were talking about different chord voicings and stuff like that. So we had talked about doing something like this at one point, and I guess this has just happened to be the opportunity to do it. For those of you who
I
are
know, right?
for those of you who are tuning in, that's not Joe Reveles. Sorry
No,
about
no,
that. I'm sorry, that's not Joe. I tried.
yeah,
But
I'm,
yeah.
I'm Chris Reveles.
No, mano. But
He's
hey,
gonna be like, yeah, right.
Papa, eres
Yeah,
tú?
I couldn't catch up to Joe, not even like with my right finger or something, dude. That guy's just monstrous, man.
I couldn't catch up to Joe if I was riding a go kart. Oh man, you know what? But you know what? Let's talk about Joe a little bit. He's not here to really to defend himself, so you know. But whatever. I was gonna say, I met him in person once. Super super cool. So my mom lives in Corpus, and he works there at Freddie Records, and he gave me a tour of the Freddie facility. Man, what a
Uh-huh.
beautiful facility, man! Like that's kind of like dream status. Like if you had like some kind of a place to record like that, you know what I mean? And the big setups and everything, and nice rooms. Got to meet Freddie Martinez, and he was super cool. Showed me all the, they have like the mastering suite, and they were doing some um renovating there, so we didn't get to see all of it. But the campus there in Corpus, man, it's beautiful. And
Right.
Joe, a great musician. I've looked up to him for so many years. Uh, he has like a real unique style that when you hear it, you could definitely tell that it's him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does a lot of like 13ths chromatically, like going
Yeah.
stuff down. A lot of cluster chords for leads and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
He's
mean,
he,
mhm.
he's like retarded scary. Like, he's like evil, like evil scary.
Listen,
I
man.
remember a couple of years back, you and I were going back and forth. This must have been like 10 years ago, man. And you send me a song and you're like, "Can you guess who's on keyboards?" You remember it was Sergio Gutierrez y Café?
Yeah, and
You
it's
remember
funny
that?
because I was just about to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh.
And he's like, man, Joe, I mean, that dude is phenomenal, man. Matter of fact, right now, I just finished mixing a song that he did, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he recorded with El Hijo de Isidro López El Indio de Corpus
Mm.
with Xavier, and he did like a cool jazz tune, man. And I just finished mixing it, man. So it it was awesome, man. It came out really, really, really good, man. That guy is just a monster, man. He's like evil scary, dude.
What's that? What's that one song that? Whatever.
Uh-huh.
Cruel y
Uh-huh.
traicionera.
Uh-huh.
What is it? Te quise con toda mi con toda mi alma. And then it did something like, that's typical Reveles right there. All the 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that, or even
And
what's that? With Joe Lopez. Right?
yeah, dude. I mean, dude, like you're already giving me like the evil eye, dude.
Huh?
You're like evil, scary, like just like Joe, dude.
No,
Uh,
man.
I'm
Come
feeling
on.
I'm feeling the evilness already, dude.
The
You're just too
Illuminati.
much, man. Dude, it's like I feel like I'm not worthy, dude. Like not even to be on video chat with you right now, dude.
Shut up,
You're that
man.
scary.
Hey, Ray Robles says, I was in that band, Cafe Band. Yeah, that was a good band, man. You know which song I like
Hell
off of
yeah.
that album? Was Caray. Whatever. Um, man, how to. Cuando te tuve, caray, cuando te tuve, parara, na 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 na
Uh-huh.
na 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 na. You know what? There was a singer that or a keyboardist that last week when I was talking to Steve to Rat, right? I was talking to Rat and I mistake it. Ralph, what Ralph from Aviso? What's his name? Ralph Garcia, right? Raul
Yeah,
Garcia was the guy I
Raul,
was thinking
Raul,
about. Raul, the accordion player and keyboard player. Because
right?
when
Hmm.
Aviso came out this way, and Motivo played with my band Motivo when we played with them. Um, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But anyways, when they came out this way, they brought Raul because Ralph couldn't make it,
Right.
and we got to talking, and I was like, oh yeah, man, from Gotitas de Dolor is like my jam, dude. Uh,
Wow.
what is it? Something like that, and then. Yeah, man, that's my jam.
Damn,
Te vas
dude.
a quedar. I forgot what it was. And then
You know,
Joe goes, and whatever chord he hits some kind of like I don't even know what chord it is, but it was like
man,
so.
I was watching your show one day, man. I don't know who. Somebody asked a question like, who's like your all-time favorite keyboard player and stuff like that. And like what's it's kind of hard to say who your favorite keyboard player is because everybody has their own style.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
But man, if you ever get the chance to interview this one guy in particular, man, he's a smooth, like super smooth cat, man. That guy is just like he's a phenomenal keyboard player, man. His name is Julian Carrion.
Oh yeah, from Latin Breed, yeah.
Dude, if you ever get to interview that guy, man, that guy is to me, I mean, he's one of my favorites, man. That guy, I've got a lot of favorites, right? But he's just like right up there, man. The guy is just like chord wise, I mean, he'll just blow you away, man.
Oh yeah,
He's phenomenal, man.
yeah,
He's cool, man. Those older cats, man, they're like that, man.
yeah. So I was trying to catch up here with some of the chat. Let's see here. Michael Ibarra was talking about a G chord change that Reveles taught him, or something like that. And it might have been the same one that I asked him about because he did some kind of a chord thing. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was like G, and then it was B flat 13. No, no, no. C 13. No, it was a B flat over C. So you could analyze that as like how could you analyze that? It could be okay. It's C in the bass, so you have a dominant seventh. You have the ninth and the 11th. Is that 11th? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's an 11th. But anyways, and I think he goes one more, and then he goes to like a E13th or something like that. But it sounded really cool in context of what he was doing. You know which tune it was? It was that David Lee, the one that He tratado de olvidarte, that bolero. But
Uh-huh.
you know how J.R. Gomez just recently released it as a ranchera, right? Well, before he released it as a ranchera, Los Carnales from Saginaw, Michigan, they released it like that. And anyways, but he tratado de olvidarte y no he podido. They did that. Michael did that. Anyways, but yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
those are badass chords there, man.
So hold on, the chat's going super fast. So let me try to bring, because I know I'm missing stuff. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Um. Okay, saludos from California. Shout out going out to Bobby Castaneda. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, neither of us is Joe Reveles, but whatever. This we'll make this fun either way. Let's see here.
Absolutely.
Joe Romano did that scale at the end. Joe Romano did that scale. Yeah.
Joe Roman, he's a guitar player.
Yeah. I know, but I'm trying to figure out what we're talking about.
Now that dude's a sick guitar player too, man. He's awesome, man.
He's probably talking about Gotitas de Dolor, because if I'm not mistaken, Ray's the one. Yeah, okay. Ray played with Cafe, so yeah, because I think I even did a video on that, but like. Those aren't the right chords, but it's that sort of. And then it does that.
It's around there.
It's F raise 11. But anyways, but that scale I think that he's talking about is because they do that. And then they do. I don't know, but and they go through all these really wicked, awesome chord changes, and that was if you guys haven't heard it, go on YouTube. I mean, not right now because we're live. You guys are watching this, right? But when this is done, go look up Sergio Gutierrez y Café. The name of the song is Gotitas de Dolor. It's like one of my all-time favorite jams. Like this is this is a musician's jam. Like if the regular layperson listens to it, they're like, "What am I listening to?" It's like like the way that people that listen to avant-garde jazz listen to it and be like, "What am I listening to?" It's not quite that bad, but for the average Tejano listener, I don't think that many of them really grasp the concept of it. But it's a great song. And by the way, that's not an insult to Sergio or Joe or anybody. It's just that it's really heavy, man. It's a great song. It really is. Especially if you're a musician, you can really appreciate that. Okay. So Michael said,
"Hey, did you ever hear that song that Joe did with those dudes, Ven a mí?"
How does it go?
Hey, dude, it's got that. Yeah, it's got that crazy keyboard lead, man. It's just like an improvised lead, like in the middle. It's cool. You know what? Matter of fact, this dude, man, he recorded it a couple of years back. The accordion player,
AJ Castillo.
AJ Castillo.
Oh no! Listen, that's Vuelve a mí, not Ven a mí. Vuelve a mí.
Vuelve a mí, yeah.
Yeah. Porque te
Vuelve a mí.
quiero y no puedo olvidar tus caricias. Vuelve a mí. Yeah, but or what? Yeah, something that's really, man. I forgot what song. I think it was maybe called Esta Vez, because I think that's what I remember hearing in the chorus. That Esta Vez, but it's a Los Dudes song, and it went it was something like this. It went. Let's see. Something. Well, anyways, there's one lick that I stole from that, and I use it all the time when I'm soloing. But it went like, it's crazy because in the first time through, it just goes F to like a B flat 13th, right? Now you're thinking, okay, we're in the key of C, right? How does C and B flat 13th, how are they related, right? Well, they're not. They're related through like intermodal changes, right? Okay, so like for example, F is the 4 chord of C, right? But B flat 13 is the 5 of E flat, okay? So you kind of go to E flat for a second, but you're like, well, how does E flat relate to C? Well, C minor and E flat major are the same key. So it's kind of like you go
Right.
from C to C minor, but it's not really C minor. It's like you switch, like if you switch the key
Right.
signature, so you're both in C minor, but really you're in E flat. You're treating it like E flat. Anyways, so the lick that he does, it goes, it's off of like a 2-5-1 in E flat. So he goes something like that. But he went like, wait, okay, yeah. So it goes or something like that, and then he went to that. Whatever, however the melody
Yeah.
goes, but he did that. Whatever that, I forgot how he ends it, but yeah, that I
Yeah.
stole that from from that. I borrowed it. Okay, let's see here.
Man, we all steal stuff like that because you know what? That song that I was telling you about right now, the Vuelve a mí, man. I stole that little lick, man. Dude, I stole that from Joe, dude, and I use it a lot,
Mhm.
when I solo and stuff. So that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Okay. Ray said a minor 6, where we were might have used a minor 6. I'm pretty sure that he was right. I don't remember anymore. John Ortiz says I used to have that cassette, probably of Los Dudes. Uh, says I wish I could sit down with you, bro, and go through some songs. That's Ray Robles. Hey, man, the internet's a wonderful place to do that.
Absolutely.
So maybe we'll get Ray on here. I don't know if he's a keyboard player or not, but even if he's not, we can talk some theory or something. We can do something because I like talking about that on this show too. Um, Rudy, it says maybe have AJ's keyboard player interview. His name is Alex Pulido. But ask Andrew. That is a guy. Yeah, sure. We want to keep doing these interviews and stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that Reveles does. And you know what? Next week we're gonna be talking about Jerry de la Rosa, but that Gotitas de Dolor, those chords at the beginning that we were playing, that's
Uh-huh.
that's Son tus miradas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh, anyways, yeah. So that's
You know what? You know what you should do, Rolando? You should bust out the box while you're playing keyboards right now, dude.
maybe in a second. We'll see. I'll stick around for maybe another 15 minutes or something like that. I'll give you guys a break.
I really think you should. I think you should freak the people out, man. I think you should freak your audience out, dude, and say, you know what? I just don't
What?
play keyboards. I play accordion too.
No, I thought you were gonna say freak them out because like I was gonna eat the accordion or something like that.
No.
Somebody already tried to
Hey,
eat my accordion.
as, as, as long as you don't start with the strap, right?
Oh, pinche Chris. Okay. Anyways, John
Hey,
Ortiz says
you should
Sergio.
tell that story, dude. It's funny, man.
Okay, listen.
That's a funny story, man.
It is a funny story, and I'll share it here with you guys in a second. We'll leave out names to,
Yeah, no names.
yeah, to whatever. But first, John Ortiz says Sergio. Yeah, I think we're talking about Sergio Gutierrez, or unless he's talking about Sergio, the brother to AJ Castillo. I don't know. Ray says he plays guitar. Awesome. I mean, guitar
Yeah.
is very important when it comes to the harmonic content of Tejano music. Donald Valdez, best Tejano keyboardist ever? Question mark. I don't know, man.
Listen,
Like,
there's too many, man. There's too many badass keyboard players out there, man, in Tejano music.
okay. So this is
It's
gonna kind of touch on the whole sports thing here in a sec.
okay.
Okay, so pardon my language. I'm gonna try to kind of curb it a little bit. So
All
whatever.
right.
But I think things like things like sports, right? And maybe to a lesser extent, like award ceremonies. Like I can understand award ceremonies at one point were for recognizing an individual's efforts, right? Excelling in their efforts. And I can understand that. Now, what I don't like about sports or the whole like competitive music mentality where people kind of get into these whole bickering sort of animosity sort of like fights
Right.
is that it becomes a pissing contest. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
who's like, and so here's the thing. And the one thing that I've always thought since we started doing these interviews, and even before these interviews, I've always thought this, right? I can't say definitively what something is the best of, right? Because to me, like art is something that's from the perspective of the person who's absorbing the content, right? It's all subjective. So what I could think a keyboard player who can take awesome solos is the best keyboard player, and you could think a keyboard player that has the really nice chords that makes them the best keyboard player, or another person could be like, hey, well this guy knows how to layer all his sounds and whatever, and that makes him the best keyboard player. So I don't know. There to me, there's not a best keyboard player. There's a lot of real chingon keyboard players, right? Like que son bien
Uh huh.
chingones, right? But they all
Hey,
bring something.
what about somebody? What about somebody that can transpose like on the spot and that makes him chingon?
Okay, listen, so what I'm getting at is this, okay? Is that every person that performs music does it to the best of their ability, and they all bring something different to the table.
Right.
Now, if we
Mm-hmm.
were to say that there's a standard, like if you can play this good, right? Like this is just an arbitrary line or level, right? If you're like, okay, you have to be able to meet this criteria to be considered the best, right? Well, what a dull world we would live in, knowing that there's only one direction to music.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
this
Uh
is
huh.
the only way to be good is if you can hit that line. You know what I mean? The only way to be good is if you can win an award. And to me that's not what it's about. You know what I mean? Like I can say like maybe the love child of like a Brando Mideles and a Joe Reveles together, like maybe something like that in my mind would be the best keyboard player ever, right? Or like Mario Ortiz and or what's the cat that
Zavala.
yeah, or Zavala, you know what I mean? Because they all have different things, you know what I
Right.
mean? But I mean, we live in the real world. We can't do that kind of DNA splicing, and even so, who's to say that those kids would even want to play music, right?
Right.
We're getting into a weird subject here, but all I'm trying to say is that to me, I don't think that there's one best keyboard player. I can say favorite keyboard players, but even so, I can't really narrow it down to one. Like I can say my favorite overall keyboard is, Jerry De La Rosa, and like my favorite
Right.
harmonic keyboard player, Joe Reveles. My favorite sound layering, Brando. You know what I mean? I can go like. And those are just off the top of my head, but that really even changes with my mood. Like sometimes I just want to listen to some Herbie Hancock or some, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or
Right.
or like I said, I brought up Mario. Mario's a phenomenal keyboard player too. That he's one of those cats that, you know, he plays good leads. He can take a solo live and he has some nice chords and stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying is that like there's not one person to be like, oh, definitively this is the best keyboard player or definitively that
Right.
guy. So
You,
um,
you're right. I mean, it's like I was saying. I mean, there's so many badass keyboard players out there, dude. There's shit. I gave you like 6 seasons worth of keyboard players, man. And
mhm.
each one of them brings something different to the table, man. It's like you're right. You can be listening to Herbie Hancock, to Joe Sample, to Gene Harris, like all these people, and all of a sudden it's like you start thinking like shit, man. There's Jerry De La Rosa, there's Hugo Guerrero, there's Julian Brando, Joe. Like there's all these guys, and it's like
Dude, everybody who's been on
everybody
this
brings
show,
something different to the
everybody
table.
who's been on this show, they're all badasses. You're a badass.
Everybody.
Uh, you know,
Every single keyboard player that you've interviewed, is a badass, dude.
They are, you know,
Ex-
and they all bring
Except
something
for
different
me.
to the table. Shut up. You
I'm Kyle, dude.
why? Because you like the
I
Cowboys?
lie a lot, dude. I lie a lot, dude. I transpose. I track stuff.
Hey, I track stuff.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't track anything, but no, I've been guilty of transposing from time to time. I mean, who hasn't, you know?
Mhm.
But I don't do it all the time. I don't do it in every song. I do it like I do it like probably like once every other week or something. Like when I do a song that I just like, if it's a song like in B, or I hate playing in B, and I'm sure a lot of keyboard. It's like accordion players. Like I'm a box player, right? And I can't stand to play in G sharp. I hate it. I loathe it.
Why? I like
I
playing that
hate it.
key.
I can't
There's
play in G sharp. I
listen.
mean, I
Hold
can,
on.
but I can't.
Sorry, guys. This is gonna.
Dude, I got my box next to me, right? I always have my little accordion right here, dude. It's an E, right?
Oh, that one's an E.
This box, this one's an E, but the position is right here.
Okay, hold on.
That would be the G sharp position. But I can't. I'm not good at it. Like there's other box players that can play. They can play the shit out of it in G sharp. I can't.
But no, hold up. So, this is my
Watchalo.
this is my cheapy little Rossetti, that I have an EAD. But I tuned it.
I thought it was a Gabinelli, man.
No, man. Look at it says, mira, made in China. Made in China su madre.
Trucha porque tienes coronavirus. Tienes coronavirus en la box esta.
Dude, I mean, you were playing better licks than I was, but
Right?
dude, you know who kills it in that G, or I call it the B flat position because I refer to everything like if I was in GCF, right? But that same G sharp or A flat, B flat, or G on an EAD, that position. I mean, he kills it in whatever. But Mario Rosas, man, he does that palomito that. What, I'm not even gonna attempt to play it.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Right?
come on.
I do it like
where's
that.
I can't play how he does that. Yeah.
That's about the only song where I can actually play like in G sharp.
Yeah, there's a lot of really tasty things that you can do there. Like if you play that polka staki, or
Está aquí por acá, yeah.
I don't even remember how to play it. How does it go?
I don't know that one.
But anyways, but then it does the change the. I don't know how to play, but it has a lot of that G sharp sort of. I don't know. There's some guys that could do some real tasty licks. A lot of the hometown boys stuff that they play in the G sharp there, like El Pintor.
Yeah, a lot of it's in G sharp, man.
Yeah, dude, that's fun to play there. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not good at it, but I like playing there just because it's just like, I don't know, it sounds really conjunto to me.
Yeah, like to me, give me like a damn major scale. Give me a major scale, dude. Now I can, I can play whatever in a major scale. Whether it be like E A A D or whatever, like on an E box. I mean, I can, or on any accordion, But just G sharp equals to no. I mean, I can play it, but I just don't like it.
Hey, have you seen those Roland V accordions? They discontinued them, man. But
Yeah,
they had the diatonic ones where you could actually make the keyboard be whatever key you wanted. If you wanted the
whatever
outside
he
row to
had.
be, you could play like in the G position and just transpose it up a half step and play like G sharp and just be killing it like if you were playing in G, but playing a G sharp. You know, the one gripe I had about those accordions, and I really shouldn't even like I can't even have an opinion on those accordions because I've never had I had one in my hands once just to demo it, but the dude at the music store was being a real dickhead about it. Like he didn't want people to like to be like messing with like the programming and stuff. But the sounds didn't sound that realistic to me. They
No,
had
they weren't.
but hold up. This is why I'm trying to say that I can't even I can't have any opinions on it, right? They did a video with Bone Mauricio playing, right? And those did not sound good. I mean, and I'm sorry, like that's just my opinion, right? That doesn't mean that it, whatever, that they're not usable, right? But just recently, I forgot his name, but he's Asian. I think he's Japanese, and he plays conjunto music. And he put a video of him playing bajo, like he tracked it out, like in the two videos where he's playing bajo and he was playing accordion, and he was playing that Roland V accordion. And I know that through MIDI you could do a bunch of stuff with it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But it sounded really good, man. It sounded like a real like a Horner or Gabanelli, but it was real dry tune and it sounded good. And it didn't even sound synth, man. It sounded like the real thing. There was a couple of times you could kind of but even like in passing, man, no se notaba. It sounded good. I mean, but like I said, I don't know exactly what he did to achieve that sound. If that's something that's stock on the accordion, or if he was using a sample, or I don't know exactly what it was. But
yeah. I think there was I think it was I think he was it was a sample sound or
yeah,
something because
but
I heard it. I think I heard it too, and it was tecleando a little bit, so I think it was like a sample sound.
no, but you see, with those accordions, you could actually adjust the tecla sound. You can actually, like, from what I understand, you can even change out the different like key layouts and the different retunings. Because like if you're gonna play something like how we're used to sounding, right? You got to have one set of reeds tuned to 440, and then have the other set of reeds be out of tune a little bit, like,
Right.
but by a little, like maybe 441 or something where they beat like maybe one beat per second or something where it's just like a da ya yeah. And this is pretty dry. So something
Yeah.
like that, if you can program and say, "Hey, I want to layer these two," yeah, that one's pretty dry too. But what I'm saying is that if you can program it to just have two reeds at 1 cent apart from each other, you could theoretically get that sound, and it won't sound synth. What sounds
Yeah.
synth is when they try to sample the sound of that accordion being tuned like that, and then they stretch it. Because then when they stretch it low, then it starts sounding even slower. And if you speed it up, it sounds fast. And then when you start playing chords, well, ya valió. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
on there's some guy that's saying Gino Vanelli. Oh, Gino Vanelli's bad, Ray Robles. I'm
oh
reading
yeah,
some of your comments here. Gino Vanelli, he's one of my favorites, man. That dude, I just want to stop. Right, that's one of my favorite songs. He redid that song and just totally kicked ass on it.
yep.
And then Nano Fuentes says DLG got his song about Chris. Who's that gringo? Ray Robles says transposing is a tool, for us to use. Absolutely. I think everybody, transposes, but I mean, I don't do it all the time. I do it every once in a while. And then my favorite chord to play is D. Wow.
You know,
And then Nano says Frankie Senior. Oh, Frankie's a beast, man.
oh yeah,
There's always discussions. I mean, just like keyboard players, there's always discussions about accordion players, like who's the best. This
Mario
and that.
Rosas.
It's like
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's like everybody's different, man. Everybody has, like Frankie's got his style, like Joel Guzman's got his style, like Rolando Revilla's got his style in G sharp.
Shut up, dude. Honestly, you know who one of my favorite accordion players are? Not because of their technique, but just because who they are. Wally Gonzalez, man.
Wally,
Man,
yeah, hey, dude,
dude.
Wally's bad, dude.
Wally's bad, dude. And
He's-
the
he's-
songs he sings about "Que me entierren en Walmart," Porque
Yeah.
he goes, when I die, I want to be buried in Walmart so my wife will come and visit me. No. And then, I mean, songs about que. What were some of the other ones? Like there was one que. Ah, man. Que no,
But his are always
no,
Walmart songs, dude.
huh?
His are always about Walmart songs.
No, man. There was one time he did 20 años. Did you hear 20 años?
No.
So he's playing like
And he does it like with a Casio, you know.
no, he had a real band on this one, but it's da da da
Oh.
da 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 right. The band's playing right, and then he comes in. Traigo un sentimiento, pero muy adentro. Dude, singing all out of tune on purpose. That was so funny, dude. I mean, it's hard to. Las leyes de la tierra quitaron mi sentencia, me dieron sin clemencia, 20 años de prisión, and he's just like yelling at dude. That shit was hilarious, man.
Dude, is that still on YouTube or something?
Dude, I have an MP3 of it. I'll have to get it to you. It's no, you know.
Hey,
what?
remember,
Yeah,
hey,
hold on.
Rolando, remember
Hold on.
something, dude. Remember one of our favorite groups, both you and I.
Oh,
We have a favorite group.
dude.
Remember
Yeah, Juicio.
Juicio? Yeah,
Juicio, man.
dude. I wonder whatever happened. Now those guys were badass, dude.
They were.
Remember the keyboard was on top of a washing machine.
Hold on. You know what? Hold on. I got 20 años right here for you guys. You guys are going to hear it first right here, and probably, hopefully, I don't get flagged or demonetized because I'm playing somebody's music. Listen.
Right on, right?
El aficionado, échale mi chaparrón.
Get ready, man. Here it comes. Y'all ain't ready for this. Ready?
Traigo un sentimiento, pero muy adentro, en el mero fondo de mi corazón. Llenas de decepciones que me trajo el tiempo, y una historia negra, y un maldito amor. La mujer que quise me dejó por otro. Le seguí los pasos y maté a los dos. Yo no fui el culpable porque estaba loco. Loco de arremate, loco por tu amor. Las leyes de la tierra quitaron mi sentencia, me dieron sin clemencia 20 años de prisión. Ya que estoy encerrado, mirando tras las rejas, únicamente al cielo donde se encuentra Dios.
Okay, this is the best part right here. And then I'll stop it right after this. Ready? Listen. Ready? Here it comes.
Agarra tono, cuñao.
Agarra el tono, cuñado.
Agarra todo, cuñado.
But
Dude, that's hilarious, man. That is funny,
and the
man.
accordion's good, the bajo, everything, the compás is there, tum ta, y entra con su traigo un sentimiento, pero
You know what? We should do a song like that, man. Honestly, man, like Juicio style. You know, remember, like the bass player was like in B flat. The guitar player was in like in C sharp. The keyboard player was in F. You know, dude, they were all like in different keys.
we'll call it avant-garde Tejano. Chris Strunk, your tocayo from Pontiac, says, hey, he did a chromatic walk down with his voice. And listen, we're not making fun of Wally, okay? Wally did that intentionally. Like,
Yeah.
listen, like when you're a musician, right? Even like and not that experienced musician can tell when something's off, right? And then so
Yeah.
your natural music or your natural ear, right, will tell you, hey, no, you can't sing out of tune. And for him to completely disregard everything that's going on and to be able to sing consistently off,
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it. That I mean,
Hey,
it
that was
take.
badass. But you know what, Wally, he is a good accordion player.
I know,
He
that's
he
what I'm
really
saying.
is.
He was throwing down. You didn't hear the little pisadas le estaba picando
Yeah,
right
dude.
there, man. Like,
Ni que Frankie, ni que Joel. That guy is.
hey, go to Walmart and go visit him. Yeah, ¿verdad? Open invitation
I
to all the
know.
accordion players que vayan a Walmart a verlo. Uh, and then
You-
Rudy
you know-
Rudy says is I think he meant, is that Tejano punk, a new genre?
It's a hit.
Yeah. Is that burper singing?
Burper.
Oh, I know. He's talking about Victor, right? Okay, let's see.
Dude, that guy's ridiculous. He called me today. Burper called me today, and he's like, dude, he goes, I have your cut. He's with Jesse Flores.
Mhm.
He took him to work with him, right?
Mhm.
And he calls me. He's like, hey, dude, guess what, man? I'm like, what? I just ate 18 hot dogs, like footlongs from Sonic.
Oh, man.
That's all he called me for, just to tell me he ate 18 footlong hot dogs, dude.
That's gross. I mean, even before,
It's ridiculous.
even when I did eat meat, that still sounds gross. But yeah, no, man.
18 footlongs, wow. And you know what? Really quick, man, you guys were talking about like Studio One earlier before and Pro Tools. You know, I sent you a song a little while ago, and you were gracious enough to help me out with it and stuff. But you know, I've always used Pro Tools, man, and you know, a lot of people are, you know, they talk about Studio One and stuff like that, and I've never been really able to get into it and stuff. But you know, I guess it's like accordion players and keyboard players, like every recording software, you know, it brings something to the table. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, let me switch my camera real quick. You know, that's what I was working on before. You know, there's the voice that you had sent me earlier. That one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I tweaked it to where it can fit the song and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you know, I've always been cool with Pro Tools, man. You know, I've been working with it for a long time, but I wouldn't mind getting into something different. You know.
Yeah. So the one thing about Studio One is that to me it's like, because I never had any intentions of switching to Studio One because I was always recording on Sonar. That's what I was using before, and I was comfortable with that. I learned on Pro Tools because that's what they had at Central, right?
Right.
But the one thing about that made me become a disciple of Studio One is that it's so intuitive. Like I didn't even need any, like no user manual. It's like I want this here, grab it, drag it. Oh, there, it's on there. Okay, let's do this and boom, boom, boom. And like editing is fast, recording is fast, and I don't mean fast in the sense of like speed of the song, you know, or whatever. I'm just saying that like to set something up, it's just like boom, 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 yeah, and then like the song's done. You know what I mean? It's like it's the way that it's laid out, and it's so intuitive. If you're like, man, I just wish I could grab this same compressor right here and put it on this. Oh, there, it's the same compressor now. You know, the same settings or whatever. You can grab, drag, and copy, and it's so. And here's the thing: I'm not knocking Pro Tools. Pro Tools is great, but Pro Tools is great for a mixing format, right? But it's not that great, at least in my opinion, for a from a producer standpoint. Like a producer who uses virtual instruments or a lot of MIDI, right? Because Pro Tools, yeah, it does MIDI and it does all that stuff, but it's not geared towards that. It's geared towards mixing engineers, right? But as sophisticated as Pro Tools is on the mix side, Studio One is just as, if not more, sophisticated and intuitive. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, like if you were to go to somebody who has Studio One open and be like, Chris, let's start recording a song, like within a couple minutes you would already know how to be using it. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, but it's just taking that initial plunge. And for those of you, like I said, I'm not getting sponsored by Persona, so if you're happy with your DAW, whatever, keep using it, right? But if you guys are interested in trying out Studio One, they have a free version right from their website. It's called Studio One Prime. You can download it, and it has limited features. But even the limited features, man, that with that DAW, you could do so much. I mean, it has a bunch of free plugins. It comes with reverbs, EQs, compressors, and stuff like that. Like somebody who's like on a budget could even just go in and start making music, right? But then when you get into like the pro version, I mean, they have a couple versions leading up to it, but the pro version, that's you can use all your favorite VSTs from whatever, from waves, from whatever, and just your favorite sounds, and there's a lot of other things that I mean, I don't want this to turn into a whole like Pro Tools versus Studio One, but if you guys are interested in any Studio One stuff, we can talk about that too in some of the other episodes that we do. Not the live interview stuff, but I haven't done any. I haven't done many episodes outside of the live interviews lately, but I did the programming on the Trinity, how to do like the lead sound on top thing, and what else did I think there might have been another one, but.
Hey, Rondo, weren't you looking for another Trinity or something like that?
No.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I have a Trinity here. I had a Triton. I sold that. I have a Triton LE that I still have for the occasions where I just need a quick, like, let's just go and do the job, sort of thing, where I don't have to take the Chronos. But
yeah, I yesterday, man, I've got a Roland B drum, man, and I set it up just to record it, just to see how it would sound, and it sounds badass.
Oh yeah.
And yesterday I was just cruising on Marketplace on Facebook, man, and there's this guy that was selling a D4, man. So I called the guy, and an Elise's D4, a drum module. Those. Yeah, so they're pretty expensive, man, but this dude, man, I got it for $20 yesterday.
Wow.
So the guy had a Triton, I think it was a Triton LE or a Triton, the one we mentioned earlier.
The LE, the small one?
The Trinity.
Oh, the Trinity, yeah.
Yeah, and dude, the guy was asking like $175 for it, man. And with a case and everything, it looked pretty good, but it's like, to me, it's like, I don't need another one, man.
Man, just for the case alone, that's worth it.
Yeah, and it looked to be in pretty good condition and stuff. And so if anybody's interested, I know this dude that's selling a Trinity for $175 if he hasn't sold it, because this was yesterday.
Yeah.
So any keyboard players out there that that are looking for a keyboard, let me know.
Yep. He might take less. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he might because I mean everybody's hurting right now, man. Everybody's hurting, so everybody's getting rid of stuff, and I was fortunate enough to get that module for $20, man. So there you go. And you know what? Just to rub it in your face, little Pro Tools, vato.
Hey, listen.
You're gonna be like, okay, well, that's all the time we have, folks. Thank you for Chris. Thank you for calling in.
No, listen, man. Here's one thing. I used to work in a music store, so I've always been. This has been my mentality with gear, right? I don't care what name is on the instrument, what sticker it's on it. It's all either made in China or whatever, right? I if it does what you need it to do, then whatever, like the tool should not be the how can I put it? The tool is not the outcome. The outcome happens because of the person who's using it, right? Like if you have a Casio and a baby grand in a room, neither of them are going to play themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can have a real Kaido Pelas sounding keyboard player at a baby grand, and then have Joe Reveles at the Casio. Which one do you think is going to sound awesome?
Dude, I just hit the same thing. Same analogy the other day, man. This guy was saying, he was on Facebook saying, hey, you know what? I just bought this. He was saying, what keyboard should I buy? And he mentioned like all these keyboards, right? And he mentioned the Chronos. He mentioned the new Phantom, and I was like, you know what? I told him the same thing. I go, dude, you can have a cheap ass Casio keyboard, man. Pero si el mono está desgraciado, he'll make it sound like $1 million, man. Because really, I mean, that's really what it comes down to, man.
Like I have my preferences of like mixing consoles that I like to work on, right? Because like I have like there's certain ones that I'm accustomed to using, right? But mixing consoles outside of that I mean that's fine. Just show me how to get to the compressor, show me how to get to the EQ. Where's the reverb send? Yeah, and then adjust the reverb to your taste. At least in a live situation, right? A studio is different, right? Because you're looking for a specific sound, whatever. But when when you're like Bobby right here says es el mono. That's absolutely right.
Right.
And Chris
Yeah.
said that too, es el mono, because even as a sound engineer, right? Like you can have a line array and you can have a whatever, a Midas analog board and whatever, and chingos de outboard EQs and stuff like that, the best analog or whatever. And if the engineer doesn't know what they're doing with it, then it's not gonna make a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you get a good engineer on a little powered system and a little a PreSonus studio or a studio live mixer or whatever. And whatever. I mean, and like that's what I'm saying. The brands, none of that stuff matters, man. Like to me,
Yeah.
I've always had this philosophy is that every instrument within a price range will be similar, right? So if you were buying a 200 or a sub $200 guitar, right? It doesn't matter if it says Fender, if it says PV, if it says Epiphone, if it says Chord. It doesn't matter what guitar or what brand is on the guitar. Under $200, it's going to play like an under $200 guitar. Now, if you want to spend $5,000 on a guitar, and say, okay, well, this is a $5,000 Paul Reed Smith, this is a $5,000 Fender, this is a $5,000 Gibson, whatever. All those guitars are going to be badass guitars. You know what I mean? It's all going to be a matter of preference at that point. You know what I mean? And then at that point, it's not about which one's better. It's which one best suits you. You know what I mean? It's like a preference thing. Same thing with accordions, man. Like, I don't know. It could be anything. Drums, you name it. Whatever if you're gonna spend X amount of money on it, everything within that price range is gonna be good. It's just a matter of what you decide to.
Check it out. Point it back, man. Check it out. So let me get my phone real quick. Under my bed, this is my bed, right? I'm in my room, and I have my little desk right here and stuff like that. This is my little workstation, right? But yeah, my bed, right? So under my bed is this keyboard, right?
Oh, the Yamaha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But check this out, man. This keyboard right here, man. It's a PSR 540. I've had this keyboard, dude, since 1996. Look at it, it's all beat up, but the speakers work and everything. I've had that keyboard since 1996. How many years is that? 24 years.
24
Somewhere
years.
on there?
Yeah.
24 years. I just plugged it in. Check it out. Works.
No, it doesn't. It's a backup.
Yeah. You see, dude. Every album that I have, I've recorded it with this keyboard, for the exception of the past two. But the first, dude, all my brasses and stuff, it's all this keyboard right here, dude. I've used, the same like with electric pianos. It's all this keyboard.
Es el mono.
Es el mono. Es el mono. Yeah, I can't put the phone down, to play something, but yeah, and I've had that keyboard since 1996, man, and I've always used it on, in studio and stuff, and it's worked perfectly fine, man.
Hey, were those happy tissues or sad tissues? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but
what movie was that?
Yeah,
dude?
but you're right. It really just depends. Es el mono. Es el mono.
Yeah.
Somebody said that. Bobby Castañeda said that. Es el mono.
Yeah. True.
I just wish I could play like you or Joe Reveles, but I can't. I play.
Listen, why do you want to play like me when you can play like you?
No, because
Mira,
that's it, dude. That's all I know, man.
Te acompaño, mira.
You know that little lick in that little lick that I was telling you about that Joe Reveles does is something like that.
Yeah,
Do you remember that one? On Vuelve a mí.
yeah.
He does something like that. You know, keyboard's way up here. I'm not used to playing way up here, but yeah, that's sort of the thing of it. You know, right? Like I wish I could play like you though, man. I need to fly up there to Ohio and get some lessons from you, man.
Why? We have the internet. And what am I going to teach you? You already know.
Because it's always better to do it in person, man. That's why.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I'm saying like, what am I going to teach you? You already know, man. And you don't need to take a lesson from me. I mean, if there's stuff that you like, if there's questions about trying to figure out like a chord or something like that, we can figure all that out collectively. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. It's like Michael Ibarra says, pelas, vato. That's why. No quiero pelar, güey. I want to sound badass, man. I want to be like in your level, man. I want to be in the
No,
in
man,
the
listen,
Revilla Rebeldes
stop-
kind of level. You know what I
stop
mean?
with the whole level thing, man. That's not a thing. Everybody plays their own estilo, man.
It's like I want to be there because like all the people with last names that start with the letter R are badasses. Like Robles right there, Reveles, Revilla, Rodriguez, right? Pero a mí me falta poquito, I need that little step there, man. That's why I need lessons, man.
No.
I suck, dude. You know, I'm horrible.
Stop. Hey, weren't you the one that did that one challenge thing where you played like all these instruments and stuff? Y te sacaste la daga, man. Like,
Oh, thank you.
te aventates, Mr. Oh, I suck, yeah. Hombre,
You know,
I
yeah,
suck.
it's because check this out, man. So like, there was this dude, man, that he called me out, man, and it's like, dude, I mean, I never post anything like that. I never brag about what I can play or what I can't, And granted, I mean, I can play keyboards, bass, drums, accordion, even trumpet and sax. I haven't played those in a long time, but
Guido.
I can play a lot of instruments, right? Hell, even the skin flute. I'm kidding. My
Hey,
wife's over there
what
looking
was
at
that
me.
about
What'd you say,
eating 18-foot long cocaine? Just
Yeah,
kidding.
so this dude calls me out, man. He's like, that he said that he'll make me look stupid on stage and stuff, and I'm like, it kind of pissed me off. I'm like, you know what? And this guy, he's like a Tejano legend, man. I didn't want to be disrespectful or anything because first of all, I respect my elders and I respect my colleagues, man, especially if they're legends. But this dude already, he was like kind of poking at me for a while already, man. And it's like, I got, okay, if you're saying that you can make me look stupid on stage and you can kick my ass and this out, okay, challenge accepted. If you're gonna challenge me, to something, then you better be prepared to bring it because I'm just not gonna challenge you on keyboards. Hell, I'm gonna challenge you as a musician. It's about your musicianship, and it's about everything, and the guy just never responded, and not that I wanted to be not that I was being chocante or anything like that. No, never. I've never been like that, man. Anybody that's asked for my help, I've always helped them, man, and whatever it could be as far as when it comes to music. Nah, but this guy was just, he just, but if I see him, hell, I'll apologize to him, I'll be the one to tell him, hey, you know what, I didn't mean for it to come out like that, even though he's the one that kind of like, started it, but,
Hey, that reminds me.
yeah, that's what happened.
Speaking of legends, right? We never talked about my accordion.
Oh, that's right. Let's talk about that.
We'll talk about this and then we'll let it go for tonight. And maybe I'll play off with some music or something like that. Okay. So Chris and I, we're gonna leave out some names.
Yeah.
We might change some names around and people who sound like whatever. So I was helping Chris out at a job in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We were doing we were backing up a whole slew of legendary artists, some of them that are relevant today and have been relevant in the past and stuff. So he told me, hey, this guy's coming up, and he's not coming with his band. We're backing him up, and he's like, I want you to play bass. Like, all right, but during that set, during Chris's set, I was playing keyboards, and during somebody else's set, I was playing accordion or something. Or maybe you borrowed my accordion. I forgot what it was, but I had my accordion on me. So the person that we were backing up was an accordionist, and or is an accordionist, and brought one accordion for the whole weekend. But busted up his accordion accidentally on the first night, and
Accidentally.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that is relevant for later. So, we kind of finished out the set by, having other accordionists come in and kind of, whatever. And me being the nice guy that I was like, hey, listen, man, like, that sucks. I know. I'm like, he was trying to find an accordion repair shop. And I'm like, man, I don't know anybody here in Wisconsin. The closest one that I know of lives, 7 hours away from here. So it was not practical. So I was like, hey, listen, man, if you want to use my box, you can use my box, man. Just put your reeds in there. That way, if you happen to break a reed or whatever, that's, they're yours and not mine, So we did the old switcheroo on the inside, put his guts inside the guts of my accordion and whatever. The set went on as expected, and then he started showboating and started pulling the accordion out to its very, very outer limits. And I have my accordion over there, but all of my honers are the original ones with the flat keys. For keyboard players, you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe, or maybe you do. But the new honers have like a rounded sort of like curve to the buttons. These are flat, like the old school teclas, and everything's original on my accordions, with the exception of one I customized. But all the other ones have been original and like in great shape. And this dude pulls the accordion all the way out. My accordion, not his. My accordion, all the way out. Puts the bass strap in his mouth, bites it, and starts helicoptering. He starts spinning around, and my accordion is stretched out 3-4 feet all the way out, spinning around his head. And I'm playing bass, and there's pictures of me. And you know what? I shouldn't even say this because this will give it away. It doesn't matter, but whatever. You can see pictures of me on stage, and Chris was like, and I was just like infuriated. Like, listen, guys, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I really am. I am the type of person. I'm the type of person that would rather resolve things with words versus violence. I really, really am. At any rate, that night, at that particular time, I was, and you know what? I can't even say that I wasn't because I didn't act on it. My face looked like I was going to act on it. But I composed myself while we were on stage, and then once we got off stage, then that was a different story. I didn't retaliate in any way to him, but the next day I had some choice words for him, and I was like, "Listen, man, I know that I'm a nobody, but I did you a solid, and that's the last time I'll do a solid for you, man. You had your one chance and you ruined it, yeah." So I gave him back his reeds, and he played up with his jacked up accordion for the rest of the weekend. And then the part that we were saying that the first time he broke his accordion accidentally, he bit into my strap and ripped my strap on purpose. Well, then on the last night that he played, just to prove a point, he went all berserk on his own accordion and launched it off of the stage. And if you guys have ever been in Milwaukee, that stage is what, 5-6 foot tall?
5-6 feet high, yeah.
Yeah, because I can barely look over the top of it, you know what I mean? And I'm almost 6 foot. But he spun around and let go of it, and that accordion flew out into the crowd, almost hit a lady. And
Yeah, and, and it was caught on video, man.
That accordion was a paperweight, or I don't know, maybe he got it fixed, whatever. But nonetheless, an important lesson: don't try to be the nice guy and offer your instruments out to people that you don't know. So that's just my.
You know, the way I recall that incident was that I was playing. I don't know what the hell I was playing. We were playing something, right? Who was the last band that we were backing? Oh, it was okay. It was before that. You were kind of like iffy, like you're like I don't know, man. Like no, it'll be cool. I said that'll be cool, right? And so
I don't even think I was apprehensive about it. I was just like, hey, it is what it is. Like I wasn't even.
Dude, but I turned, dude, when he started helicoptering around, like he's saying, dude, I just turned around and I looked at you and you were like this. You just stopped playing, dude. You were just like, I think you took it off and you went like straight at. I was like, oh shit, this guy's gonna pop him. That's what I thought, man. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna hit him.
Oh man,
because dude, your face, like your look was just like you just went pale. And I'm like, I've never known you to be like, violent or anything like that. But just in that moment, I thought, you know what, Rolando's gonna fuck him up. That's how I kept thinking.
But I didn't. But I didn't
fuck him up, man. But you didn't. You were the nice guy. You were the bigger guy. Even that night, I was trying to be the peacemaker, and I was like, you know what, let's just whatever. Because you said, you know what, I'm not gonna work with him the following day, and you didn't, right?
No. As a matter of shout out going out to Rick Fuentes, who finished doing the set for me, because I was like, listen, I'm not even going to play with this guy anymore. Yeah,
Rick Fuentes ended up finishing the set with him and stuff. But even it's like, you know what? Even while you, him, and I were sitting in the lobby, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like he didn't give a shit, dude.
Yeah, he didn't care. And I told him, and this is exactly how I said. And Chris is my witness. I sat him down and I said, listen, you're going to sit right there and I'm going to talk to you and you're going to listen to everything I have to say. And then when I'm done, then you can talk. And, but and maybe that was disrespectful of me, but, and I've never been one about, an eye for an eye, to be disrespectful to somebody else because they disrespected me. That's not the type of person that I am. But I felt that at that time, that person needed to hear that instruments, like, they're not just something that you can crap on, man. Like instruments are the tools that we use our own blood, sweat, and tears to invest into ourselves. You know what I mean? And like not only that, but I'm a firm believer that like each instrument has a soul to it, like a story behind it. Like those are the best instruments too. Like where you could say, oh, this accordion was handed down to me from so and so, or whatever the story is behind it. And it's not just accordions, guitars, keyboards, whatever. There's stories behind those instruments that make them very, I don't know how to put the words, but like they're important tools, man. And they're important. And to me, like heaven forbid, I know right now we're in time of COVID and whatever, and financial situations, especially for working musicians like myself, is kind of uncertain, right? But I would probably sell my foot before I would sell one of my instruments, just because you know what I mean? Like my instruments are that much of an extension of who I am and what I do, that, you know what I mean? And for somebody to blatantly disrespect that, that was kind of a punch to the gut. But
you know what? All instruments, lives matter too.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.
Oh man, that was too funny, man. But oh well. It happened. It's behind us. We moved on. You moved on, and you know what? We're here today, and you got this badass show, man, and I'm happy for you, man. And it's just unfortunate that Joe couldn't make it today. But I said, hey, you know what? If you don't have anybody on there, I love to talk, man. So I said, give me a call. I'll be on your show, man.
Yep.
And thank you, man. Thank you for calling.
Yep. Thank you, man, for doing this. All right, guys. So maybe we'll try to reschedule Joe if he's up for it. If not, he's still a badass in my book. So
absolutely, 100%, man.
I'm humbled that any of these guys want to get on here and just talk smack with me about keyboards. So I'm truly grateful and honored anybody who makes time for me, for the channel, for you guys. It's super cool of them to do it. Nobody's making any money off of this. Although, if you guys
Dude.
do feel like contributing to the channel or whatever, go to TejanoKeyboard.com. You could donate money there if you guys feel the necessity to, or whatever. If God's speaking to you and saying, "Hey, let's help out Rolando so you can maintain the website," I'm willing to take any offerings that anybody is willing to send my way. It helps keep this rolling. But anyways, yes, Chris.
Hey, you know what? Really, really quick, man. I've got to say that I mean, it's a must, man. You have to get this certain gentleman on here, man. This guy, I think, is a 25-time Grammy Award winner. He's just a 38-time, Emmy Award winner. This guy, he's got like 15 Tonys. He was.
What is it, EGOT?
Yeah, dude. This guy is he's like Academy Award winning status.
Who's going to be on my show?
He was a nominee. He hasn't won an Academy Award. He hasn't won an Oscar, but he's won a Tony and an Emmy and 23 Grammys, dude, for his productions. And he's like Yanni, man. And you have to get him on your show, dude. I can get him for you. He's just a phone call away, and he's actually from the Midwest, so I think he would actually do it. You probably know him, dude. His name is Raúl Nano Fuentes.
This motherfucker. Este vato.
Canta Nano. Canta Raúl. Where's Nano at?
No, hombre. Ya me llevas de...
Dude, you have to get him on your show. He's from the Midwest,
I do need
man.
to get him on the show, but you had me he's an EGOT winner. You're like, no, look at this and that. Michael, no, I did not get your text. I was just about to look through my phone. I haven't gotten your text. Yeah.
Rudy Valenzuela rhymes with Bunny. Great show. I enjoyed it. Ro, did you see my text about Joe?
No, I didn't.
Bro. My tocayo, Chris Trunk, says, bro.
Yep.
So I'm here reading. I'm reading your comments as well, dude. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's okay.
I guess I'm used to it because of my show, right?
Yeah. And for those of you, hey, this is a good time to plug your show, and then we have to sign off because this interview went on for a long time. Actually, it wasn't even an interview. Yeah. It was a hangout with Chris, right? So what are we talking about? Oh, plug your show tomorrow night, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I also have a show, ladies and gentlemen. For those guys that are still on here, we have a couple of people that are watching. I do have my own show. It's going to be on tomorrow night. We actually have a badass special. We have a 2-hour special tomorrow. We're actually going to be giving away over $1,000 worth of free merchandise, dude. T-shirts, caps, koozies, posters, CDs, you name it. We're going to be giving it all away for free tomorrow. All they have to do is just go into our show page, man, on Facebook, the Chris and Maricela show page on Facebook, and you know what? And we're going to be giving a bunch of stuff away for free. And we're going to have a special guest on the show tomorrow.
It's completely uncensored. So you can say frick and shoot.
Yeah, and you know what? It's totally uncensored. My co-host, she's the one that sees the filtered one. I'm the unfiltered one. I'm the uncensored one. She's the censored one. So, but yeah, tomorrow, 7 to 9 o'clock, we're going to, we have a special guest. It's going to be totally cool. As a matter of fact, I want you to call in tomorrow, Rolando.
All right.
Because I'm gonna be giving away some Motivo CDs.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
You're like.
No. I'm sorry. I was reading Michael's thing. Yeah, I did see that. I thought you sent me a text, but no. Yeah, I did see that you said that earlier. So, yeah, I'll reach out to Joe and see what happened. So hopefully it was nothing serious. And
yeah.
Either way. All right, peace out, guys. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go spend some time with my son. So, all right, Chris. Peace out, everyone.
Thank you, Ronald, for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for doing it, man. Thank you for stepping up to the plate, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, next week we're gonna do the Jerry de la Rosa special. I reached out to. I know I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I reached out to his wife. And she was flattered, but decided to not. She declined the interview, which is perfectly fine. But I'll read to you guys what she wrote because she did have kind of like a nice statement about Jerry. I reached out to Jay Perez, and he also declined. So no Jay Perez, but people that he worked with closely, Chente Barrera and Gilbert Velasquez, they will be on the show next week. It'll probably be a different show. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect, what it's gonna be like, but we'll see. If anybody has any Jerry questions or Jerry stories, be sure to get them ready because we'll spend a little bit of time talking about him. Thanks a lot, Chris. We'll see